Hey guys, how's it going? Spinosaurus the King here, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about Colin Trevorrow confirming that Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous will be filling in the 3-year gap between Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and also even Jurassic World Dominion. So let's get started with this video. So to start off, I'm going to be reading quote-unquote what Colin Trevorrow said, and then I'll give my thoughts on each quote after I read each quote, and also some theories on it. So on this website, Colin Trevorrow started off by saying, "I think it helps the audience mark the passage of time with these kids. Trevorrow says of season 3, they're on this island, and at a certain point it seems as if they've been there for this indeterminate amount of time." To make clear, first of all, what the timeline was at the beginning of Fallen Kingdom, it was about 6 months after the fall of Jurassic World for kids who've grown up on it. It's cool to allow them to connect to these touchstones in the story and recognize that the story we're telling is part of the larger story. It's not just some cartoon show for kids. We take it seriously, I'll admit it. So this was the first thing that Colin Trevorrow stated on this article on the website, and I really do think it's awesome that we're getting a cartoon prequel to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and shows what has happened for the first 6 months after the events of Jurassic World has crashed, and really explains a lot that perfectly links up to the opening scene of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The series is good, but I wouldn't say it's amazing. Characters are great except for Brooklyn. Kenji is annoying, but that's what makes him funny, so he's cool. I love seeing the Baryonyx pack named Limbo and Chaos, and Toro the Carnotaurus was amazing as well, and the gray Ceratosaurus in JP3 one was great to see too. And of course the Monolophosaurus, Dimorphodons, and Bumpy, and the Tyrannosaurus, and all the other dinosaurs that we saw, except for the hybrids, were very awesome and cool to see in the first 3 seasons of Camp Cretaceous. Anyways, so let's go ahead and read the next statement that Colin Trevorrow said on this article. "He really is the thread that runs throughout everything," Creamer says of Wu. "The fact that we know from Fallen Kingdom, that opening sequence mission to get the Indominus sample, it felt like a great way to thread him even more into our part of the mythology." So this was cool. However, one part that doesn't seem right is if you watch the opening scene of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, you hear one of the men working for Dr. Wu saying, "Tell the boss we're coming back home." However, Dr. Wu wasn't at home. He was actually on Nublar that rainy night, but on the other side of the island. So that felt a bit odd, because I never expected that Dr. Wu was actually on the island during that time. But perhaps they meant just to tell him they got the DNA. However, I always thought that Dr. Wu was not there and just the mercenaries. But now we know the full story of that night. Anyways, the next thing that Colin Trevorrow stated was, "There are connections that we're making for sure between Dominion, now scheduled for a 2022 release in theaters, and Camp Cretaceous. When you see Dominion, it will be clear that it takes place on the same timeline and in the same world as our show. As you can see, this show is 100% canon and will lead up to Dominion, and in Jurassic World Dominion, the movie will make it obvious that it has a connection to Camp Cretaceous. Now, what exactly will this connection be? I have no idea, but my guess is we might see the Camp Cretaceous characters for a cameo or maybe even a big role in Jurassic World Dominion, or we may see either Toro, Bumpy, Limbo, Chaos, the purple Parasaurolophus, the gray Ceratosaurus, and maybe, just maybe, Manticore will be involved in Jurassic World Dominion and will actually appear, which I believe is a huge possibility because so far we haven't been introduced to Manticore in Camp Cretaceous yet. It was only mentioned by Sammy. Anyways, let's go ahead and read the next thing that Colin Trevorrow stated, and then I'll give my opinion on it. "We wanted the Scorpius Rex to feel like a failed medical experiment," Creamer explains. "Our design team just put a lot of time into figuring out what features should be exaggerated. We definitely wanted it to feel as the same phylum as the Indominus and the Indoraptor. Personally, I hated the Scorpius Rex because it killed the Ceratosaurus, Gallimimus, Brachiosaurus, and Parasaurolophus for fun, and those are all the dinosaurs that I love, especially the Ceratosaurus from Jurassic Park 3, and the design of the Scorpius Rex looks too similar to the Indoraptor and the Indominus. I personally wish we got either no hybrids or a hybrid that's not related to the Indominus or Indoraptor. For example, the Ultimasaurus, the Spinosaurus Rex, the Spinoraptor, the Carnoraptor. In my opinion, any of these hybrids would have been way cooler to see instead of the Scorpius Rex." Anyways, the next thing that Colin Trevorrow stated was, "Trevorrow initially thought that the Scorpius Rex design was the ugliest thing ever, so much so that he was a little against the concept at first. The producers rightly explained, well, that's sort of the point, man. It's the idea that we are messing with nature to point that we have things that are genetic malfunctions." He says it's some dark stuff. And I honestly agree. I found it very ugly, and I was against the Scorpius Rex the whole time. So Colin Trevorrow, I do agree with you on that too, man. Anyways, the next thing that Colin Trevorrow stated was, it's clear that there's plenty more story to tell. Creamer says it can go in a lot of different ways, but it does certainly seem that our kids, while escaping some peril, I don't think they're on their way to Club Med. I do agree there is so much story to tell in the Jurassic World franchise, and that's why me and my YouTube team are making fan-made prequels that will feel canon to the Jurassic World franchise, so we can fill in the missing pieces of the puzzle in the Jurassic World franchise. Now, the next thing that Colin said was, boy, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Creamer says playing coy. I'll say this, for anyone who has been tracking the speed with which these seasons have been made available, that would only suggest that there's a larger plan afoot. The writers have done some really excellent work in mapping out the story that we want to be able to tell, if we're able to tell all of it. There are a lot of seeds that have been planted. So far, the story of Camp Cretaceous is good. It's not my favorite, but I still enjoyed a lot of scenes and story from Camp Cretaceous, especially the new and returning dinosaurs we got too. The final thing that Colin Trevorrow said on this article was, we do have a beginning, middle, and an end for it. Trevor affirms, I certainly wouldn't want anyone to think that we don't have a plan. We do, and there's an ending in sight. Scott and the writers have plotted out a pretty exciting way forward. So my guess is what Colin means by this is the final season of Camp Cretaceous, which is apparently season 5, which is rumored for January 2022, is that it will take place right before the events of Jurassic World Dominion, and season 4 is rumored for September 2021, which probably takes place slightly before or slightly after the Mount Saibo volcanic eruption on Site A, aka Isla Nublar. Anyways, what are all your thoughts on Camp Cretaceous so far? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Personally, I think it's alright, but not great. I'd rate it at least 6 out of 10 and 7 out of 10 max. Anyways, I'd like to hear all your opinions in the comments down below. To end this video, I'd like to give a huge thanks to my YouTube team. Jacob 101, my 3D animator. Patrik Cauan, my 3D animator. Cam, my 3D animator. David Church, the best director I met on Instagram. BK Go Crazy, my very first hardcore Spinosaurus fan. Zane Schiller, my first friend in the Jurassic Park community on Instagram. Anthony Ellis, my drawer who draws epic background pictures that I use in some of my videos. Rafly Siregar, my comedian, since he makes me laugh the most, and Animal World, my best dinosaur friend in real life. Also, I got brand new Patreon offers that are currently available on my Patreon for tires. One of them is donating to me and my animators. If me and my animators receive enough money, we definitely will quit our jobs and work full-time on YouTube. So definitely consider joining and check out all the offers I have on my Patreon. You may be interested. And another one is custom Photoshop thumbnails, where I make thumbnails that are $5 per one. Another offer is just to support us in general. And then the last one is a YouTube discussion video with me once a month. It can be up to 1 hour long. That will cost $15 a month. And if you join any of my Patreon offers, your social media links will be in the description below and at the end of every video. And you'll also be able to pick future topics for the channel. Also, if you guys wish to join my Discord server to chat with me about Jurassic Park and other stuff, you're more than welcome to. Just remember to be respectful and polite. The link will be in the description below to my website and my Discord. If you're enjoying the content on my YouTube channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss anything new. Leave a like and a friendly comment. If you have any friends and family who you think would enjoy my content, please share this video with them, and also my YouTube channel too. And don't forget to do the exact same thing for my YouTube team, and have an amazing day, everyone.